Do you feel that in order for prayer that it disturb the viewer?
The concept is disturb, actually it's even more, is to shock the conscious. The image, looking at you and expecting an answer from you. At the same time assessing your situation vis-a-vis the work and whether you are actually, how you feel about it, whether you are shocked, whether you are this, whether you think it's just something foreign, something that you don't know about, something that only happens somewhere else. There is a great deal of this, to some people think, well, maybe, it only exists somewhere else because it does not have this direct effect on people who probably are not feeling the turmoil of it or something like that. So one important aspect, I think, of doing mural work and taking them on tour and having an exhibition is to get as much actually involvement as possible with the viewer and create that kind of dialogue between the worker and the viewer.
Yeah. So there's a certain responsibility on the part of the viewer too.
Absolutely.
To not be passive, but to...
Traditionally, a work of art rendered the viewer passive. So you look at it to enjoy looking at a landscape or a still life or something that is not disturbing, but this passivity evaporates later on. When I started this type of work early in the 70s, this was maybe an extremely important aspect, is to reverse this passivity. So this passivity would be eliminated.
Is that the role of the artists? Who bears that responsibility?
Artists do have a certain responsibility, believing that we are going to cover these pictures or not show them because people are so innocent and they don't want to be involved, anything like this. Nothing is for everybody. I mean, some people, how about those people who are interested, who need to know? For example, there are certain films that have not been released yet about Vietnam or about World War II. But to many historians, to many artists, to people like you, they are interested in the subject. It's not a matter of shocking or provoking the general public as the subject has been recently when there was a certain sort of a deal between the lawyers of Civil Liberty Union and the Obama. They would release those pictures about Iraq because they would serve a certain purpose, not necessarily to cause alarm or as it was stated that it would destroy the image of the United States because other people would use it as a propaganda. No, the United States is very well known to have one of the greatest armies in the world. If a bunch of people did something wrong and you suppress it, you will be giving the wrong image. You're going to think that this small group of people represent the greatest army in the world. This is not the case. So this is why we expose them. This is why you try people, you take them. If they did something wrong, it's a small group of people. We let the world know. This is not the American people. This is a group of mean-spirited people who either wanted to have fun or do this or that. And if there is more deeper involvement at the top, we have to know it. We cannot cover it up. We're not going to go back to the Nixon a long time ago tried to cover up. It's useless. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to ruin. People are very intelligent. They're not stupid. We cannot take it for appeal on that segment. There is a certain image, a certain group of people. So we have to be rather candid, frank, open, and a little bit more clear about what we're talking about. So we know if we're going to expand these wars, if we're going to expand, there is a certain limit here. We have to know what's going on, why these people did this. So when we cover, is this what the war was about? So, these are important issues that they should be discussed and debated much more openly. Allow different angles, different views, different opinions, especially in American society. They're not going to accept the view that there is someone who passes a certain judgment and therefore is going to be accepted.
Yeah.
Well, it's no such thing. Wars are going on. I mean, we could talk about them. Sometimes I use the word stupid about wars because sometimes it's really, it is terrible. It's so unnecessary. We traditionally learned about wars that, you have two powers. Each has a huge standing army, each has this, and then they go fighting over something, usually over land, and tens and hundreds and thousands of people will die with so much destruction. Okay, so this is the traditional concept. In recent wars, this concept has been totally changed. So now we have a huge standing army, like in Iraq, going to fight who? There's no other army there to stand, no other air force, there's no other thing. So we create something that is stupid. And then we say, okay, we're going to fight a bunch of insurgents or terrorists. We have to invent them. So you have to create, you have to do something terrible. You kill a father or you kill a son, and then his brother or his mother or is going to become the new insurgent and so on. These are, or even what's happening in Gaza, when you create a state with a huge standing army, would go create these wars. This is, I think, the big change that we have seen today. Something different, something that we have to be careful about. We have to talk about. We have to bring it. It's not something that we can just, pretend that we teach. The war going on here. We have to define what war. Let's see. What kind of war is this?
Yeah.
And then we have a new vocabulary. Whether the art plays a role or not, I always felt that I, as an artist, cannot be oblivious to what is going on in the world today. There's no way. I have to be involved, whether it's in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Latin America or something, and transmit so much of these images and experiences.